Hello, everyone. I am thrilled to have you joining today's Casual with Denise Fletcher Tarot. Hi, Denise.
Hello.
We caught you sipping your coffee.
Got a little thirsty.
There you go. Well, it is always a good idea to hydrate. So, how do you take your coffee? May I
Straight.
ask? Straight? Okay. Okay. Well, and here's the thing. I take mine iced, but I take it in a Tarot Stash
Cup.
merch mug. Link is below. Ha ha ha. So
My
um,
Christmas present.
there you go. And so Denise, thank you for being here. And today we are going to get to know Denise Fletcher Tarot. Here's the thing. I'd like everybody to follow the link in the description and be able to show support for Denise. Let me check something. And I need to do one thing there. Hang on. Okay. The link should be working because we were having some fun and making some discoveries, weren't we, Denise, about your YouTube channel?
That's right.
Yes.
Might be
So,
why my videos aren't uploading.
well, we'll figure it out. Everybody, please like and subscribe. It's free. Do verify that you are subscribed. I'm Tarot Stash, by the way. Thank you. And this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really. So, how's that?
Very good.
Yes. And so anyhow, it's wonderful to have you here. So thank you. And Denise, the first time you and I met, I think it was in Allie's chat, and you won a reading from me? Was that
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
It
So
was. And then I booked a reading with you
yes. So
after that. Yep.
yep. So and we've got some great people here. Kaylee is here, Jane the Seeker, Moon Scarab, Ramon is here. I'm doing readings with Ramon, doing Moon Alchemy readings with Ramon and Linda Day Gonzalez. And Ramon is late lunch at work lurking. So all of the lurkers. So, and thank you for subscribing to Denise. And there's that. And I want to make sure that we have the correct link in the description. And yes, okay. So I'm going to put this in to make sure that everybody sees this, because hashtag overachiever. I'm always making sure that that's there. And Russ Bob's Barbara is here, and Tea Garden Chicken, Miss Charlotte, and Miss Sherlock Maria. It's great to see everybody. So, Denise, take a breath. We're all friends here. So, Denise, this is a question that like freaks people out often. What's your origin story? And by that, what do you want to share with us about how you came to be where you are today?
Well, back in 1897.
Okay.
A little more sooner than that. Uh
It is only about an hour show.
okay.
So
Yeah, because 1897. No. Actually, that's the year my father was born. So that is the beginning of mine. But you know, I used to pick up on. I think I'm an empath, or I have to be, because I pick up vibrations off of everything, whether it's wood, stone, buildings, people.
Okay.
So I noticed as a child, my instincts were very alert. I always knew that was not a good place to go or something. And sure enough, later on, it would turn out that I was right.
That's
Um,
powerful.
it was very helpful. I,
Oh yeah.
I grew up in Detroit. Um,
Mm.
yeah, so it was in the 60s, and we had the riots going on and all
Oh
that.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Um, so that was when I discovered I was sensitive to my environment.
Hmm.
I just didn't have a name for it.
Yes.
I was too young.
Yeah.
So then I started reading cards in my teens, actually.
Okay.
And I've also been a artist and a writer forever. But that's not how I ever made any money. It just was my hobbies and creative. And I always found that when I write, I see the story.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
So as I'm typing and everything, I'm actually visualizing it. So it's
Yes.
really cool because if you read my writings, you'll see that I take you to where I'm at.
Hmm. And you have a Substack, which
Yeah,
is linked below. You also have, is it
fine
American
art, fine art.
Fine Art? Yeah. So
Yeah,
you have a profile there,
with
so
some of
people
my
can find you
paintings
there.
and some of my
Yes.
photography.
Hmm. I love
But
that.
so then, how would I?
Well, here,
It
let
just
me,
survived me. It helped me through my entire life.
sure.
My empath did.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask a slightly different question, Denise.
Okay,
You had said you've always been an empath. You've had it. You had a knowing, but you didn't have a language for it.
right.
When was it that you discovered the language around it? Do you remember that?
27.
Okay, very specific. So what
27,
happened?
I was in Kentucky, and I was in the passenger seat riding in this old beat up cargo van with my, at that time, husband.
Hmm.
And I spoke to my deceased father.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, I just felt the whole anger that I ever felt at him just kind of like up and went away. And I can
Wow.
remember those feelings as of right now. Like in
Hmm.
other times in my life, there's certain things that have occurred and happened that it was like I remember them now even. And yeah, so I've been through an adventurous life.
Hmm.
And so I think that makes me even more intuitive to
Sure.
I'm extremely intuitive. I just know. I have friends go, "Well, how do you know?" I don't know. I just know.
You just know.
And they'll go, "How
Well,
do you know that?"
yeah. And they keep arguing with you, and you're like, oh, I just know. I just know.
Yeah.
So you came to tarot. You got your first tarot deck when you were a teen.
Yeah, I want to say 15 or 16.
Okay. And I am obligated to ask, what's the name of your first tarot deck? Do you still have it?
Yeah, I still have it.
That's great.
Yeah. Of course, I grabbed the wrong one.
Oh,
It's in its own box.
there you go. And I do want to say hello to more people who are joining us. It's wonderful to spend time with you. Thank you. And this is Denise Fletcher Tarot. So please go over and subscribe to her channel. And Cheryl in the chat actually posted claircognizant equal clear knowing. You just sort
Okay.
of know.
Yeah. I and that's like when I'm reading tarot,
Mm-hmm.
um, especially if it comes to like a time or something like that.
Yeah.
My guides, if there's an answer, my guides will shout it out at me in my head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like April. Okay.
Mhm.
They're very so anyway, it's Ryder Smith.
Rider Waite Smith.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ryder Smith. And
Mhm.
this is my original deck, little worn out, but
Wow.
and then I took and when I was practicing, I took and wrote notes all on my
Thank
cards.
you. Thank you. I am so glad that you did that. I encourage people to do that. It's your deck. You do whatever you need to with it.
So,
So,
but I keep it in this little canvas bag in its own wooden box.
and do you use that deck, or is that semi-retired?
Semi-retired because
Okay.
now I use Deb Zachary's Zaka.
Deb Zackow's The Clarity
Zaka,
Tarot.
yeah.
Yes.
I use those, and I got so many decks laying around here. Ah, and this is the Apprentice. Then I have the Apprentice,
Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm.
and then I just have a regular. I don't know, no name.
Is it and is that a pip deck? Can you show me another card? Okay, that may be a pip deck. I don't know
Yeah.
which deck that is. That's weird. Okay.
I don't know. I don't use it much, but I'll probably start using it more because you know how it is when you get to a certain
Oh yeah.
feeling about cards. And then I got that. And then my daughter's deck, I didn't bring it over. Um, I have my deceased daughter's deck
Mm-hmm.
along with her tarot book.
That's
So,
beautiful that you
and I
have
do
that.
use her cards, but I use it for government and anything negative
Okay. Okay.
because it's a very dark deck. And my daughter was Wiccan.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
and she's in fact she gave me a book back there um about white witchcraft.
Uh-huh. Oh,
So,
that's great.
so
That's great. So when you and I were doing your reading, I'm not giving any secrets away,
no.
um, but you had the honor of knowing your guru.
Yeah.
And do you want to share? And I would consider this part of your spiritual path.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
tell me about that. Tell me about that.
I was living in Ann Arbor, Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
and a friend of mine used to clean Gillick Rinpoche's house. He's a lama,
Mm-hmm.
and he's the founder of Jewel Heart, um,
Okay.
Buddhist
Mm-hmm.
corporation, or I don't know what they call it. Um, she got injured and had to take 2 weeks off. So she asked me if I'd do it. And I said, sure. Well,
Mm-hmm.
then 2 weeks led into 2 months and then it led into 2 years, which is funny because twos back
Ah,
in 2012, when I was driving semi cross country, I kept seeing twos on trailers, on pumps, on mile
uh-huh.
markers, on bill of ladings. It was driving me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And I never put anything together on that. And then I realized at the time I was dealing with my daughter's illness and stuff. So I had more important things to think about.
Right.
And I think back, and that was Gellig talking to me, or, you know, before he even passed, but him and I had a connection.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to his house every week and we would go through all of his mail and we would talk and watch the world news and talk about politics and world
Uh-huh.
events. And I wasn't a follower of Buddhism.
Uh-huh.
And he really liked that. He used to tell me, "You're my friend." He goes, "Because I can say anything to you. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
happy. I don't have to worry about you being one of my disciples, my followers,
Uh-huh.
you
Yeah.
know." And so that's why I guess I never got into the business or um into his organization.
Sure. Sure.
But because I had a better I to me, I had him all to myself for
Yes.
you know.
Uh,
I cleaned his house and for 2 years.
mhm.
It was great.
So, when did you start studying Buddhism then?
I actually, the more I read and learned about Buddhism, I realized I've been doing it since childhood.
You just called it something different?
I just thought I was a liberal. I'm a Democrat.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what I pretty much, it's just
Mhm.
the way, always remembered. And one of the things that I was watching, because Gellick has videos on YouTube, so I'm really lucky because my guide is actually, I can connect with him on a video.
Oh,
And I go
yeah.
and I listen to, and he does for years, he did every Sundays.
Mhm.
And it's really fascinating because he passed in 2017, but he started doing that in 2012, I think it was.
Okay. So he did it early.
Yeah, and I have, like, how he set up his own style of teaching Buddhism in this country. What he calls it, the Western,
Yes. Mhm.
is
Yeah.
different
Yeah,
than.
I've done some Buddhist, book discussions, and it is challenging to take some of these concepts and, how to explain them for a culture that doesn't have some of these basic concepts. So,
Yeah.
I
And
wanna get I want go ahead.
um and one of the things that it was fascinating when you asked me about how did I learn it or when did I start was I was listening to one of his videos, and
Mhm.
all of a sudden it dawned on me I just always lived that way. I didn't understand. I know it is when I was a child and um there were some situations where you felt threatened as a child.
Mhm.
And I just remember hiding in the closet and going, "I'm so lucky I don't have it as bad as some other children.
Yeah.
I'm just so
Wow.
lucky." And I thought, what kind of a 6 or 7-year-old would think that?
Yeah. Wow,
So I
that's
figured I must be a reincarnation Buddhist. That's all I can figure.
okay.
I probably should get a life, thing checked.
I know some people.
Okay. You
Um,
do?
yes. Eva J said, I have been trying for years to define who I am so I can relate to that, Denise.
Yeah.
And Ms. Sherlock, whose name is Maria, said, Denise, you should be a comedian. And Jane the Secretary said, I think I love her, Gerald.
Oh, thank you, you guys.
Well, and I would say, I'm pretty fond of her as well. And she's a reader.
Yeah.
So if anybody needs people to come on and I don't know, here I am, I'm selling your time. The way
Well,
to connect with
you
Denise
know what
is
they do to
love.
prostitutes? They only charge by the hour anyway. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry, YouTube.
This is for entertainment purposes only. Well, I'm wondering what that says about me because currently, as of February
Are you my
2020,
pimp?
no, 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 2025, my readings are by donation only.
Mhm.
They're donations, so whatever. So, I see Rose. See Rose. This is Denise Fletcher Tarot. I'm glad to be interviewing her. So, um, so thinking, so did you read about Buddhism as you explored it, or what else did you do? How did you get to understand that?
Um, at one time in Ypsilanti, Michigan, um, my sister and I started going to spiritual classes through, uh, and I believed what they were teaching was spirituality with Buddhism.
Uh huh.
And a lot of the things that I've been learning, and most of my Buddhist learning has just been in the past year, to be honest. I spent
Okay.
2 years with Gellick, and we were friends,
Right.
literally. I mean, and that's what he wanted. He really, really, he needed a friend,
Yeah. Um,
and I
by the
needed
way,
that. Thank you, Gellick.
yes. Eva said, good thing I finished my tea, otherwise I would have baptized the computer. And C Rose says hello, Denise.
Hi, C.
So
Rose.
and thank you. Um, next purchase smelling salts for the perfect effect.
Good idea. It's good of the
So
family.
was there a book that you read that you really enjoyed, or and you can say, Gerald, I don't remember, show a video or something.
No, I always I read so many books over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got into audio.
Oh yes, I love me some audio.
Oh, God, me too. I love audio and video.
Mm-hmm.
I gave up the reading of the books.
Yeah, I've got several books that I'm reading, and I just it's hard to multitask
Mhm.
when reading.
Oh
So,
yeah,
but hey, there you go.
and
Um,
the tablet falls in your bathtub while you're trying to read it, and it just kind of shorts them out anyway.
yeah, that's exactly true. So, what? Oh, um, yeah, we've got the mustache there. That was a gift. Someone sent that to
Oh,
me.
that's so cute.
It's
Ah,
so adorable. It's so adorable. Okay, so um, tell us about your divination tools that you use.
well, first and the most important is my intuitive abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but with those, I use tarot cards
Yes.
as a tool to tell my story, what I'm seeing. And then when I do a tarot reading, it's like reading a story.
Uh-huh.
And so that would be my first. And it also depends on the person, the instincts that I'm feeling, and what
Sure.
deck of cards. Sometimes a reading in a tarot isn't necessary. You just do oracles.
Yes.
And oracles a lot of times will really give you a good answer
Yes.
because not
So,
everything's
yeah.
spiritual.
Okay, so when you read, I'm gonna take a little bit of a leap with you, Denise.
Okay.
Tell me I'm wrong. Um, you use these little images on cards to help tell a story that offers some support for the question that the person is asking.
Correct.
Okay. And I'm a full supporter of Oracle, Tarot, playing cards. It doesn't matter.
Hmm.
So, and Jane
Well,
said,
a carpenter has a hammer and a saw and a screwdriver. A doctor has more than a scalpel.
and I'm also the person who you need the proper tool for the job.
Yeah.
You do not want to, I do not recommend using a sledgehammer
Oh,
to put in a thumbtack.
right.
So that's why, when
Mhm.
I encourage people who are learning to read tarot, you only need one deck. You do not need 500 of them like I have. You need just one deck. You don't even need a deck. You can just use little pieces of paper.
Yeah.
So,
Playing cards.
yep.
Um, every deck I own has a meaning. It's
Hmm.
something connected. Like I have about 20 coffee cups, and I keep thinking I need to get rid of some coffee cups. but each one tells a story.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's like with my cards.
Yes, Kaylee, I
Purchase
am
your cards.
sure that that one only needs a tarot deck. And is Jane right? Is that a dog alert?
Yeah, right.
What's the puppy's name?
Matilda.
Okay.
And she's 13-year-old Shih Tzu. Matilda. She's a princess.
Mm-hmm.
She just
Oh, she's a princess. I'm a queen, so there's room for all of us.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And my cat, she's the queen of the house, and I'm their servant.
Of course, of course,
So
of course. Hi,
I don't
Joanne.
know.
So, um, are there any other divination tools that you use?
My pendulum, um, that's it. Just that's all I do so far.
And you know what? That works out well for you, right?
Yeah, yeah. Less I have to clean.
There you go.
I
There
have,
you go.
I have all my. I just have this glass bowl filled with different crystals and rocks, and
Mm-hmm. And is there a specific crystal that you're particularly drawn to, or several of them?
the
It's a selenite, correct?
selenite. The selenite is my favorite. And I can I tell my story?
Yes, please tell your story. Yeah, I have some selenite. I have several
Yeah, I
selenite.
love my selenite. This is the one that I use to open my third eye. And my when I open my third eye, it's like this big. It's huge. And I
Mm-hmm.
just see the massive universe when I go. I've also
Oh, okay.
flown to the moon 3 times
Oh, okay.
in my dreams.
Uh-huh.
Not in real life, but in my dreams.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Um, today was a today was the
I love
best.
this.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, I got up 5 minutes before the alarm went off. Coffee was
Nice.
already brewing
Mm-hmm.
because I set it up the night before. And I had to go see my cardiologist. So I went to the cardiologist and she gave me a clear that I'm still healthy. I'll be around until next week. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had lost this a few months ago, and then it snowed really heavy. I had lost it outside. I was carrying it in my bra and it fell out.
Oh,
Okay. God. So you know the truth now. I can't lie. It's horrible.
yes. Okay.
So I just said, I will find it. I'm not worried. I was just going to go buy one this morning. So
Mm-hmm.
after I left the doctor's office, I went to the metaphysical store where I work at, and um, um, they weren't open yet. So I thought,
Okay.
okay, well, I'll just go home. And then my prescription was ready. So I went home, and as I was walking up the steps, and I have to lift my dog up because her legs are short. She can't get up
Uh-huh.
the stairs.
Uh-huh.
And so when I bent down to pick her up, there was my crystal laying by the steps. I was like, awesome. I didn't have to buy another one. And I really like this one. You know how you get attached to stuff?
Oh, I completely do because I'm a firm believer that crystals store all of the energy, as do coffee cups,
Yeah, really. I
coffee
didn't know that.
mugs. Yeah, I think they do. And see, I think you're pretty special. That must be a pretty special selenite because selenite is something that if um, it gets wet, they can deteriorate because it can be brittle. And
Uh-huh.
I like what Jane said. The universe needed to borrow it.
I believe it because I have a feral cat outside I take care of. I have the house indoor cat, I have the dog, and an outdoor cat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the indoor cat, the queen, refuses to allow any other
Oh,
felines
of course.
around
Yeah.
the house. She's
Mm-hmm.
the way she. So anyway, then after I found the selenite And then I went to go pick up my prescription and it was free. And I went, yay.
Okay.
And
Love
then,
that.
and then I had a refund from a business I was doing with, and they had refunded my money today, which I wasn't expecting. And then I get to be on with Gerald.
Aw, cheers. Cheers. Sip,
And,
sip, everybody. Let's all take a sip.
and it's only
Stay hydrated.
4:30.
I know. It's
I
so
know.
so impressive. It's like, wow.
I know this is an awesome day. And I guess this is the way I've always been. I always got excited over the littlest things. It's
Okay.
just I always admired people who I get happy. I'd be in a casino in Vegas with my ex-husband and the kids and everything. And I'd get up off the machine, somebody else would sit down there and then hit it. And I'd
Mhm.
go, I'd be happy for them. It wasn't I wish it would
Yeah.
have been me, but I could be happy for people.
I have to say that's a not something that everyone is able to do, Denise. So you're special with that. So I mean, I think that's
Well,
pretty
thank you.
impressive. That's
I,
pretty
I'm
impressive. Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy most of the time. I do
Yeah.
get mad, but I'm happy most of the time.
Well, yes, I get mad too. And I wouldn't say I get even. And Jane's going into lurker mode, and Sharon Foster is here, and Cheryl is here.
Thank
So
you,
this is
everybody.
this is great to see everybody. This is Denise Fletcher Tarot. Her channel link is in the description, so I encourage everyone to go over and subscribe. You are actually you're actually a pretty new channel right now. When we started, you had 24 subscribers.
Yeah,
So,
I'm fairly. Yeah, I'm just now. It was fascinating. I was watching an astrologer today. I can't remember his name. He's always on Linda G's. Little skinny guy.
Hogarth,
No, he was.
I don't remember the name.
He's on with Linda G. Somebody on the thing with all. I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. But I was watching him, and he was talking about how the planets were retrograde the last 3 months, and that it seems like no matter what you did, you just couldn't get it going. You just couldn't get it going. He goes, well, now it's going to change and it's going to start going the other way. And I went, that's why I've been. Remember, I was telling you the other day. It felt
Yeah,
yes, yes,
Andre. Yes.
Andre.
Thank you, Delphi,
Thank
and thank you,
you.
Sharon.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, he hit it right on, and he said like it'll start breaking loose, and it broke loose this morning. It just started. Everything was falling into place.
mhm.
I mean, it
Yeah,
just
I think it is one of those things. We have the ability to. I mean, we can't always change everything that happens. I
no.
have to remember the only thing that I can oftentimes control is my response to what happens.
Yes.
And the this past December and the December before that, I did the Glimmer Globes,
Mhm.
which reminded me the importance of focusing on those small little glimmers of things that are triggering joy and happiness.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like you are a person who, gee, you just get excited when things go well. And if it happens to you, great. If it happens to somebody else, great.
Yeah.
So,
I just so I think that's why I was talking about. Absolutely, Joan.
mhm,
I was I've just always been that way. So I must have been a Buddhist in my past, maybe a
sure.
Lama or something. And I
Hmm.
didn't know that there's a female Buddha,
Hmm.
and the one that I discovered through Gaelic was she's a white Buddha. Her name is Tara,
Uh-huh.
And it's funny because every time when I go into meditation or deep thoughts, I see white, bright light with a tinge of yellow. That's what I
Mhm.
always see. And occasionally I'll see green in mine. I don't see any other colors though.
Uh-huh.
Maybe they'll come later.
So a white Terra.
Yeah. Her
Okay.
name is Tara.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Okay.
she's for animal healing and for healing. So I've been practicing on my cat. She's got a reverse sneeze. You know how animals will sneeze, but it sounds like they're choking or something.
Uh-huh.
And that's what she does. So I've been practicing on her.
Yeah.
Building it.
How does she respond to that?
They just both of them just kind of like da da da. They're very passive. My animals aren't. They're like me.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then they get kind of playful, but
Sure. Sure.
they're they're very happy, I guess.
Yeah. So what's one of your favorite divination topics? What do you like if okay, I'm gonna frame this question in with two sides. When you're by yourself and you're curious about something or you want to pull some cards, what topic do you look at? And what's your favorite topic to read for with clients?
You're gonna think this is horrible, but when I'm alone, I don't read a lot by myself. But if I do, I use the pendulum and will ask
Sure.
yes and no questions.
Yes.
Um, I
I
watch
don't
other read, huh?
I don't think that's terrible.
Okay. And then when I'm watching other readers, especially on the political and all that,
Mm-hmm.
I try and connect mentally with them. And I start reading their cards that they're throwing
Uh-huh.
as they're throwing them
Mm-hmm.
and see if I can come up with the same answer that they give.
Based upon those cards. I
Yeah.
understand.
And
Yes.
then I listened to the reader and I went, and most of the time I can catch right on. It's like I can answer their questions. Like if like you're talking to somebody and
Mm-hmm.
they ask you a question and you're gonna answer it, I usually have an answer before you'll answer it. And most of the
Sure.
time, about 60-70% of the time, it'll be the same answer.
Yeah. I think it is as people are learning tarot,
Uh-huh.
and if you watch readers online, I think it's an interesting way to practice under your understanding of those cards.
Yeah.
And by the way, don't be posting what you think those cards mean in the chat unless you've been specifically invited
Oh,
to. You know,
yeah, I don't.
but I think so it's one of those things that it's a great way to practice. They're like flashcards with
Yeah. Well,
people.
yeah, I've learned so much from you guys, from
Yeah,
all of you, and so I've always been active with tarot cards. I've always, they just
yeah.
I was in for personal. And then for a client, I love their personal. I love to help them through dilemmas, um,
Mhm.
educational questions that
Yes,
I've been asked. Um, you know, is he cheating? Stuff like that.
sure.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I do all that too. But for myself, I just like doing it with you guys, and I'll just throw cards sometimes, or I'll just read your cards.
Hmm.
But I've decided though this month I'm going to start doing more short videos on my channel,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and I'm going to do some of my questions cuz like I hear the news and it's like, "Oh my god, how can they think that?" how can they say stuff? Like my son sends me a text this morning. My sons are MAGA. Where
Okay.
did I go wrong? But I quit arguing with my one son years ago because I was going to have a heart attack or stroke. And now what I say to him is, when he sends me these crazy things, I go, whatever happened to you? Why
Mm-hmm.
are you so mad?
Oh, interesting.
He's the typical MAGA. And so instead of arguing with him, I just flip it on him and go, what happened?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so,
Yeah.
but I
So
love personal readings with my clients. I really enjoy it.
yeah, I do too. And both Denise and I do private readings, individual readings. Contact information is below. And so what Amanda's here as well. Let me ask you this, Denise. What deck are you currently enjoy using?
Uh, the a tarot apprentice.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Why
Um,
do you like that one?
silly thing. It fits well in my hand.
That is totally not silly, Denise.
Some decks are just too big,
Yes.
and like this, and I'm missing half of a thumb. So when I go to shuffle, if you're an inch and a half missing on your thumb makes a difference. But I don't care. You know what I asked my daughter-in-law who did nails for a living? I asked her if I'd get a discount now that I only have 9.
And what did she say?
Probably.
Oh, there you go. Okay. That's hilarious. Um, so everybody take a sip and enjoy this. This section of the video is brought to you by the word moxie. Everyone say it with me. Moxie. Moxie. Energy, pep, courage, determination. Use your moxie to like, share, and subscribe to our channels. Moxie.
You picked Moxie for me.
Would I do that, Denise?
Yes, you would.
Am I wrong?
No.
Okay. Beth said cardstock and size can make or break it for her.
Yeah, this deck here just fits right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why this other one I used to use a lot, because it fit right in my hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. And see, and here's the thing: there are a lot of decks out there, and find the deck that works for you.
Yeah.
So, and Beth said, I like the word moxie as a name for a poodle.
Oh, absolutely. Just saying.
I think moxie is a noun, isn't it? No, it's an adjective. No,
I think
I
it's
just watched it. I was sipping. So somebody, look that up. So sorry. I should know this. When because people are subscribing to your channel because they're cool like that and they're the best chatters. What can people expect when they subscribe to your channel? You did mention you were going to do some more shorts.
Yeah.
Okay. And what else?
And I'll do some recordings and I'll do lives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to shoot for like 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe later I'll have memberships and stuff. But right now, the spiritual part and the tarot and all that, I kind of got down pat. It's this technology that is, I find it fascinating.
Uh-huh.
I
Well,
like
and
technology.
Denise and I did last Saturday go
Mhm,
through and talk about StreamYard.
mhm.
So, and thank you, Beth. It is a noun. Moxie is a noun.
Okay.
So appreciate that. So, and okay, so you're going to do, um, when you do lives and you're looking for a guest for for something, consider
Uh-huh.
me. I'd be
Oh,
happy.
absolutely.
I'd
Great.
be happy to join you. So, but yeah, and
Couldn't ask for a better teacher.
no, well, I don't know. I don't know how good of a guest I am. So, but had
Well,
enough
I
is
guess we'll just have to guess to see what kind of a guest you are.
there you go. And I can put on multiple personalities too if I need to. So I want to appreciate everybody joining us. This is great to see so many people watching and getting to know Denise Fletcher Tarot. It's great to be sharing and introducing her with you. Um, what's bringing you joy these days, Denise?
When the weather is just atrocious outside and it's cold and it's snowy and I don't have to leave the house. I already worked 45 years. I can stay home.
Okay, so you
Seriously. I stayed home for 3 weeks straight this past. I live in town. I have a car. But the groceries can be delivered.
Mhm.
And I have a freezer, so I buy food, keep it in the freezer, so I don't have to go out and I don't have to order pizza or nothing delivered. I can.
So you're a person you like your isolation. Is that an assessment, or you like
Not.
your alone time?
I need alone time.
Okay.
I love people. I'm a great communicator,
Hmm.
but I have to have that alone time.
Yes.
I Otherwise I just get overwhelmed. I
Yeah.
start shorting out. I
Hmm.
know my every all my vibes start shorting out when I have interruptions and stuff. I cannot go into huge groups.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Hmm.
It's just too much.
I think a lot of I was actually speaking to a friend of mine this morning, and she was like, "What is it with people these days?" And I'm like, "There's a lot of energy going on. There's a lot of stuff that people are having difficulty adjusting to." And one of the things that next Tuesday at my regular time, Medium Betsy Palmer is joining me and Jamie from Wandering Mountain Bardic Path. And we're going to be talking about a channeled message that Betsy got from her guides in early January. And it relates to that. It
Oh,
really, it really relates to that. So, and Beth says, choice is wonderful. I have the choice to stay home. I don't have to go anywhere.
and if I want to, like today, the weather, I was going to the doctor, so I went ahead and did some other stuff. And when the weather's nicer, I'm more outgoing,
Mm-hmm.
and I spend a lot of time in the backyard just walking in the grass barefoot.
Yes. Oh, I
You know,
love that. Do you do gardening and stuff like that as well?
I have flowers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a flower, and Do you know what a sump pump is?
Yes.
Okay. This house was built in 1940, and it was the old Michigan basements where it was just dirt floors and everything,
Oh, yes.
and so then they put a concrete floor in. Well, when they did, the moisture had no place to go. So they had to
Mhm.
put a sump pump in. Well, to drain it, they had it going out into the middle of my backyard. And then most of the summer, I had this about 8 by 10 foot water hole, soggy grass that you go to mow it and the lawnmower would sink in it.
Yes.
So I took and had my grandson help me, and we dug out around where it comes out of the ground, and we filled it with a pond liner, and then we filled it with rocks and stones all the
Oh,
way around it, and
uh-huh.
we humped it up like in the middle. And I have this little stone castle that was like landscaping in somebody's yard that used to light up. So I cut
Hmm.
all the electrical off of it, and it sits in the middle of this pond. It's all stone, and my house is stone. So
Wow.
yeah, and so I have solar lights that shine on it at nighttime, and so I end up with deer and birds and squirrels and raccoons and everything in my backyard. And I live in town. I have deer in
Wow.
my yard. My dog has a friend with a local deer.
Hmm.
They sit out there together at the. I watched them. But of course I could never get a picture of it. But
Of course not. Yeah,
but my
they.
dog will sit there by the pond, and the deer will be standing there drinking from it, and
Mhm.
my dog will make little woof noises, and the deer looks at it, and it's just adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Beth was sharing. Bodie and she took a long walk today. Last week it was -7, and it's 60. It's
Or
64 today. And had enough said yes. It's like the world has gone crazy. Just give everyone a smile.
yeah.
And he said you had lemons and made lemonade.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you made lemonade and you shared it with the neighborhood.
Yeah, because my neighbors all love it.
Hmm.
It's
That's
especially my
beautiful.
neighbors to the one side of me here. They
Right.
because they can sit in their backyard and look at it too. So then I have
Hmm.
this little fountain that blows up in it in the winter, yeah, or summertime, water.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
And the squirrels and the cats and the dogs, they all love it. And the
Hmm.
birds, I get all kinds of birds in the yard. So
That's great. I did see, I live in Ohio, and this morning I saw my first cardinal,
oh, oh,
the cardinal pair, today. So that was lovely. So
mm.
that was quite lovely. Um, so where are you going to be for upcoming shows or anything like that, Denise?
Today's Tuesday. Is it up?
Hmm.
What day is it? Um, Thursday. I'll
And
I'll get videos ready. I'm gonna work on that little issue we were talking about,
mhm,
and then I'll get that fixed. And then once that's fixed, then I can go ahead and start. At least
beautiful.
I'm glad you found that. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Because I would have never figured it out.
Oh,
I wouldn't have known what to look for. So
right. Yes. Oh, I completely understand. I had at one point thought about, as you and I were talking on Saturday, some of the StreamYard stuff and the background stuff. I thought about, I wonder if this would be helpful in a live for people who are considering doing
yes,
stuff.
I
And
was thinking of that when you were doing it for me. I was thinking, he should make up some videos of this because a lot of the ones I've looked at didn't explain it as well as you did.
oh, well, thank you. And I have my preference
Mhm.
on how I operate things with YouTube and doing StreamYard. There's lots of different ways to do things. You do what works for you.
Yeah.
It's like divination.
Yeah.
Use what works for you. Do
Yeah.
what works for you. So
Sometimes you need a card. Sometimes you need a oracle. Sometimes you need a pendulum.
Yes. What was the name of that oracle deck that you were holding up? I didn't ask you
Oh.
before.
Tree Keeper's Oracle.
Very nice.
It's beautiful deck. I mean, it comes with a little book, comes with a, so like here it's we have number 9 is Keeper of Trust.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the book. I'll read it.
Go for it.
Keeper of Trust. All that you are to become is already inside you. Just as an acorn has a blueprint for the oak tree, you have a design inside for what your soul tree wants to become. Your mind is the least dependable purveyor of direction. By all means, use it, but not as your ride to die in times of creative or crisis. That's what your soul is for. It contains the connections to your higher source and most authentic self. Trust it. Trust yourself. Trust the process. How appropriate.
Very true. Yes. And Beth has said, Gerald, Angie Sullins did Tree Keeper's Oracle. She also created When Women Had Wings, and she's an excellent writer. The When Women Had Wings is, I would say, one of Beth's newest favorites. So I think that's wonderful. So, well, thank you for that. I am on with Michelle Marie at Astrological Tarot tomorrow night, Wednesday night.
Okay.
And then I have a Laugh and Learn about castor oil with Diana, oil painter.
Oh, I love her too.
And I am also doing some knitting with Irish Granny Helen on Thursday. Friday, I am doing rock, paper, scissors with Allie and Richie. And then Friday evening, I am reading with Ramon and Linda de Gonzalez for Moon Alchemy readings. So
never heard of that one.
That's a show that Ramon put together. So the three of us were reading for questions, and we're using lots of different divination tools and weaving them together. So it's very, very
cool. Oh, that was the cat.
That was the cat who was trying to be somewhere she shouldn't have been.
Yeah, Mom's got too much stuff on that little table.
There you go.
She usually lays there when I'm working.
There you go. Denise, anything you want to let people know before we finish up?
I want to thank you all for coming.
Yes.
And I hope to see you guys some more. I see a lot of you guys in the chats when I'm in there.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, I want you to have love, light, and laughter in your everyday. Because if you got love and you put light on it, and it brings laughter. So,
ooh, there you go. That is your tagline right there.
Love,
that's your
light,
tagline.
And laughter.
So
yeah.
Yes, but then you have to add that second part. That's really powerful.
Oh, yeah, because if you love, it brings the light, and then you become you have the laughter.
I think that's perfect. All right, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and we will see you all next time.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.